Hello and welcome to Just Do It News Network with your on-air talent, Alex, and
Eric,
with special guest,
Brian.
Woo! All right, Eric.
baby.
Yeah, we're gonna get a news drop one of these days when I get around to finding one.
In the meantime, this one works. I spent 32 hours crafting it in the lab, and it sounds like this. JDINN.
That's not bad, Eric. I think you should go back and do another 35 hours though, because
dude, I don't know.
it wasn't inspiring.
I was taxed, dude. I was so taxed. I didn't eat anything. I didn't leave the room. It actually stemmed from me accidentally locking the door, and I couldn't get out, so I was trapped in there. I went real Bear Grylls on it. It was pretty.
Oh, I heard a lot of banging going on, but I just assumed that they were doing like air duct work or something.
Oh, I was in the air ducts at one point. That was pretty tough. That's actually where I got the dun sort of sound for it.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually just sampling himself banging on the walls of the ducts.
Yeah, the little jingle is you frantically trying to open the door and realize that the doorknob fell off.
Well, the last 12 hours we're finding a way to edit out my screams from the sound, so yeah.
Right, of course. Well, Eric, we always start our news broadcast off with the local news. So, what's cracking in P-Town?
It's the weather's been gorgeous. The leaves are all different colors. Now it's starting to fall. As in, like, the leaves are on the ground, so everywhere you walk, you don't know if you're crunching little baby frogs or snails, or if it's just the leaves.
Oh, dude, late at night when all the frogs run across the road trying to get run over.
I swear, like, if an officer ever pulls me over, I'll be like, "No, sir, I haven't been drinking. I've just been swerving to avoid these frogs." Because I mean, I know you've seen them; they are everywhere.
Oh yeah, they're suicidal. Something about that wet road just brings them out. And the roads down here in Woburn, Eric, they have been wet ever since we fired the weatherman. I think he cursed us, at least me, with never-ending rain. I can't catch a break.
Did he put one of those ancient Mayan curses on you?
Only if that curse also involves stress eating, because I have been munching down on the Utz party mix. And it's good stuff.
Dang, I forgot that you have a real job, a real big boy job, actually side hustle from our news anchoring to be able to afford name brand. I have to stick to Market 32 generic party mix.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Market 32 muncharonis are not the same thing, Eric. I got I just want to point out that I have 1 pound and 10 ounces of cheese crunchies, tortilla chips, BBQ corn chips, pretzel wheels, and nachos, which are naturally and artificially flavored, unlike the pretzel wheels, which have no flavoring.
Oh, interesting.
So, party mixing with the Utz boys is what's going on down here in Woburn. Brian, how is beautiful Madison, Wisconsin this time of year?
I gotta say, it's beautiful. It's very similar to an upstate New York kind of fall. The leaves are falling, everything's starting to change, like red and yellow. But there is something about upstate New York that has like that crisp air, like for a few, like maybe a week or two. Whereas I think in Madison, it went from nice and sunny 65, 70 to about 35. I mean, yesterday alone we had our first snowfall. So like, I don't know, it's kind of bizarre.
Oh, I know this is in local news, of course. Was any sort of traffic affected by that first snowfall? Did people not have their snow tires on? Was it just mayhem on the roads? Sort of similar to Syracuse, if you will.
No. It was after everybody was at work, from what I recall. So I was already in the office, but I would say people biking at work, yeah, they were struggling.
Interesting.
But honestly, I feel like that's more just because they're getting snow in their eyes than anything on the ground because it wasn't sticky.
I was gonna say, how do you winterize a bike so that it can deal with snow?
I have no idea, but there's a couple people on my team, and they bike 365 days out of the year to work, and I'm like, that's impressive. Good for you.
I mean, that's dedication.
That's
Because
dedication right
I would
there.
not go to work 365 days a year. That's for
I
sure.
mean, well, 365 working days out of the year.
Of course.
If that adds up.
Yeah, I did 52 days a year, and that was a lot. And so Eric and I reduced it.
yeah, it was the news anchor station. It's a whopping like 20 feet away from my abode, so the commute's just ugly. You wouldn't believe it.
Oh, I believe it.
Well, Eric, I think that about wraps up local news. I think it's time to send it out to our correspondents out in the field, right? That's our next segment.
Well, of course. So, actually, this week we are heading out, to a local cat conservation center in the Mediterranean scrublands of the Iberian Peninsula, where in just 20 years the Iberian lynx has gone from the world's most endangered feline to the greatest triumph in cat conservation. We'll take you there now.
Yeah, I'm out here. My name is Outback Jim. And
wow, that's a very strange accent, Outback Jim, for being in the Mediterranean scrublands of the Iberian Peninsula.
Outback Jim here, reporting from the Mediterranean scrublands. They're a lot like my native Australia. They sent me out here because they have this cat called the Iberian lynx, and she's a beauty. And we're trying to see how to bring cat conservation back to Australia, where we don't have any native cats, and we're trying to keep it that way.
Oh, that's that. I mean, obviously, I believe that the kangaroos and the drop bears got to the cats first in the Outback.
Well, yeah,
correct?
You don't want to see a drop bear get a cat. It's a horrible miss. But I have standing by with me Brian, and he's going to tell you more about the way the lynx just sprays you with its scent marking glands.
So, I'm not gonna lie, their favorite thing to do is they'll just come up to you, sit straight on your forehead, and rub those scent glands all over you. They just want you to smell like a lynx. Are you kidding me? Like, you can't get rid of them. It's either that or they're pawing at your feet. They're just trying to rub all up on you.
Huh. So these Iberian lynx are very similar to the common American house cat.
Some would say that. Some would say that.
Do they at least meow in sort of a strange accent?
It's more like a soft coo, if you will.
See, I would not have expected that. A big thing is, so I know that the Iberian lynx were endangered and almost at the point of extinction. What's been going on at this cat conservation that's do you think really booming the population of these endangered animals?
Oh yeah. Well, you see, first of all, what they did, right, is they realized they were really cute lynxes, all right? And they just got more people involved so the lynxes could more naturally rub their glands everywhere.
Interesting. So it was actually sort of a public sort of spur of why everyone liked it, because they're like, wait a minute, we don't want to get rid of these cute, adorable lynxes that have never once lived in Australia.
That's right. And
total group effort.
Yeah, they thought that they would come and eat the local hamsters, and everybody knows out here in almost outback like situation of the steppes of Madrid, everybody has a pet hamster, and so the problem is that the lynxes were the natural predators of the hamster.
Oh, okay. So they actually were hunted to close to extinction, or did the hamsters actually fight back? Because I do recall, if I'm correct, Hamster Independence Day was not too long ago, and that was I forget the exact details. Our old executive producer would have hammered me on this, but something about how they finally got freedom from all the oppressors. on that day? Were the oppressors the Iberian lynxes?
Well, the humans armed the hamsters with the sharp punji sticks. Okay, they had a stick, and what they did is they got the little metal sticks for normally for rotisserie chicken. Okay, right on the barbie, and they gave them to the hamsters, and then the hamsters they were able to fight overwhelm the lynxes and drive them nearly to extinction like the Tasmanian devil.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that you got there, Brian? It looks like some sort of food in this conservation area. What are they actually feeding these lynxes? I mean, they look so big and powerful. Like they have to be feeding them something good, right?
You know, it's kind of bizarre, but one of their absolute favorite foods, peanut M&Ms. Not a sponsor, but specifically the green ones. We don't know why. Nobody does yet. We're trying to figure it out, but for some reason they just go feral for them.
I mean, it's because they're big protein fiends. I know that.
That's true. It is true. If they can't find, a green peanut M&M, their next favorite thing, I swear it's straight like I don't get it either, but they just love chewing on rhubarb.
Interesting. So they what's their opinion on Werther's Originals? Because right now it's really giving me just retirement home old lady sort of vibes.
Dare I say it, the green M&Ms are the most tasty of all the M&M flavors, which makes sense why the lynxes like them so much.
Well,
but
they're the sexiest one, of course.
Nor deny the old folks are getting it on with the Werther's Originals. But I do hear that Werther's is dropping a new product only in Australia called Werther's Green M&M.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, it's actually it's not green M&M flavored. It's rhubarb flavored.
That is true. I can confirm.
Wait a minute. Are you guys even at this cat conservation, or is that the Werther's Originals plant in the background?
Oh, they're right next to each other.
And,
okay.
Same place, just separated
by a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say like 100 miles. Our plane tickets were a little off.
So is there any chance that there's been cross-contamination from the Werther's Original factory and the cat conservation area?
No.
I wouldn't worry about that. That sounds like some sort of quality control issue, and they're very good here at the Werther's plant at keeping everything under wraps.
All right. Well, that's been a great segment of our field correspondence. I have to thank Outback Jim, who, of course, has a very Jim? Jersey accent sometimes. I believe your mother was from Jersey,
so many
right?
years. Yeah, of course. My dad, he's from Australia, and my mom, she's from Jersey. And I grew up in Spain, reporting on all of the Iberian goings-ons.
Okay, right, interesting. Well, and then obviously also thank our reporter Brian, doing great work out there.
Yeah, thank you for your tireless work out there, Brian.
I'm just doing what I can, anybody else would.
Eric, now that we're back in the studio, let's head on over to our final segment here, the question corner.
Yes, the question corner, if you will.
Yeah.
Alex, this was actually asked.
Wait, Eric, I gotta stop you.
On my way to the studio today.
No, hold on, Eric. I gotta stop you right here. I just remembered that Outback Jim was talking about how there was no contamination in the Werther's factory. But, and this might be a fringe conspiracy theory here, you know what Lynx Musk does, right? You know what it smells like?
I'm starting to think it smells like caramel.
No, it does not. It smells exactly like mildewy grandma.
Oh boy.
So I'm just saying, maybe that's why, because all the Werthers at grandma's house.
Oh, interesting.
Eric,
So
you can't
there
start
might be, they
speculation
might
like
have
that
a
'cause
links.
we have
They might
strict-
have like a links infestation, is what you're saying. There might
Yeah,
be a lot
exactly.
more than we know.
It might be self-serving of them to offer 15% of all profits to links conservation.
Very, very intriguing.
Yeah, but Eric, we got to report on the facts, and that's just speculation. So let's get on this question you were about to ask. Question corner.
Yes. I was actually stopped on my way into the office today. And this one person, like full get up there, very festive into the autumn and fall, and they had a big old bag of candy corn. And I was like, you know what? I love candy corn. And they're like, I also love candy corn. And that's when they asked me this question. If you're one of the many people who hate candy corn, why do you hate it and why do I hate you? And I agree with that sentiment. Because I personally am a candy corn fanatic. In fact, a candy corn lover. If I could choose normal corn or candy corn, I would still probably choose normal corn, but candy corn is a close second.
Brian, are you pro or anti candy corn? Can you give us a contrarian viewpoint?
Yeah, so I'm actually big time pro candy corn, absolute lover. But just throwing off of Eric's comment here, normal corn's good. I think candy corn's better, but better than both, popcorn easily, no doubt in my mind.
Oh,
a little bit of butter.
I have seen Brian be a fanatic when it comes to popcorn.
I mean, it's just so good. But I mean, I guess here, I'll play a little devil's advocate. People going against the candy corns, it's sugary. I get it. You don't want to jack up your kids just full of sugar and have them bouncing around. But at the end of the day, man, that just is so good. Like, who doesn't want candy corn? You can put it in your mouth. You can look like a little walrus or a vampire. I mean, what's better than that?
Oh, that's very true.
That's
wait. What's this? I'm getting special report right now that it's now pronounced candy corn because we are in the question corner.
Oh, okay, good.
So if we
I was
just
with you there,
appease
Eric,
the people,
right up until you changed the name to candy corn, and now I'm vehemently against candy corn, Eric. It doesn't taste like anything. It's just sugar. It's frankly not even that frightening when you stick the little things up in your mouth and you can talk like you're a walrus. It's not.
What?
It's kind of cute at first, but then you realize that you're putting a lot of sugar right on your gum lines, bad for the gingivitis. And gingivitis walruses are a plague on this society, Eric, which is why I am writing to my local town officials to get candy corn banned from Halloween this year.
I don't think I want to anchor with you anymore, my good sir.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Alex, come on. There's one thing I've learned, and the quickest way to get sugar into your system is by gumming that. So, obviously, and like candy corn is the best way to gum. I mean, it just sits in there. It's like you pack a whole lip of candy corn, you're ready to go.
That's not wrong, Eric. That's not wrong. What I'm actually advocating for is boxes of raisins and apples on Halloween, a healthy treat.
Yeah. Oh, God, get him out of here. No, next question. I can't do this
All right,
now.
Let's not let this divide us. Okay, let's not let this divide us. We can be united in all liking popcorn, the superior corn.
Yes,
fair
100%.
enough.
Okay, but if you're going popcorn, is it light butter, no butter, or movie theater butter?
Gotta be light butter, a little bit of salt.
Yes, that's the right answer.
Yep. I'm going light butter, a little bit of
butter,
salt.
But that's like a special thing. That's too much.
It's if you do it too often, you're gonna get sick of it. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I actually bring up a counterpoint. I use a full tub of animal lard. It's like butter, but it really congeals together, and let's just say you can't believe it's not butter.
Oh, I can believe it. Every time I've tried it, I can believe it's not butter. Eric, I need you to. I think we got to hit up one more question we had floating around on the internet somewhere.
Yeah. So, I believe it was actually on our last video. We have beautiful callers that called in.
Down in the comments. You feel free to write in any questions. We'll try our best to answer them. at every in every podcast.
So, hello, Just Do It News Network. It's me, James. Joe and I are hanging out next Tuesday and want to surprise him with a cool get-together. Joe just got back from watching a horseshoe mating dance. A horseshoe mating dance? Okay, James. So I need something more
you meant
exciting
a
than
crab mating dance, Eric.
Oh, a horseshoe crab mating. That makes sense. So I
That
need
makes
something
sense.
more exciting than that. I can schedule for next Tuesday between 4 and 8. Thanks, James.
That's a tough one.
So I know Brian may not he's new to the studio. He might not be familiar. Last week I believe Joe called and there was a horrible explosion across the street and they were scared it would drive them apart. So they actually created we advised them to create a barbecue business in the crater that was left across the street. And they're just trying to be close and get close as friends. So it looks like James wants something that he can bond with Joe. That's very exciting between 4 and 8. That beats horseshoe mating.
Yeah, more important
horseshoe
than
crab
mating dances, and those are pretty exciting. So
that's gonna be tough to beat, honestly. I mean, in the middle of a crater, they're starting a barbecue business too.
Oh yeah,
right cool. Across the street from their houses.
Okay. That's tough. That's a tough one. I don't know if I can think of anything off this. I mean, horseshoe crab mating.
Well, it's gotta be better than that. Yeah.
Well, so the trick is it has to be an early evening or late afternoon activity because he's only free between 4 and 8. So and because it's fall, I'm gonna say they should go take all the rotten crab apples from down the street and just start throwing them at their one neighbor's house that they don't like.
Oh, Eric, that's really fun, but that's more of a 3 o'clock activity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, they'll have to. I think they're gonna have to improvise. Another fun bonding activity instead of crab apples, got to go big, go home. Get the moldy pumpkins that the grocery store didn't sell. Buy a whole bunch of them on discount and just start bashing them with a stick. Just really lay it into them. Yeah,
that's good right there.
Yeah, that's more of a 4 or 5 o'clock activity.
Here's what I'm thinking. All right. They head to the local apple orchard, pretty early into this 4 to 8 period. So they have time for the rest of this. They grab some shovels. They dig up one of these apple trees, right? They take it back to their crater, their barbecue business. They plant that tree and then all of the surrounding apples as well, and then this sets them up for the next year's barbecue, right? They're out there having a good time planting trees, throwing apples at each other. But next year, they're going to have that apple wood to smoke their barbecue.
Ooh, play the long con. 5 to 10 years, you got the applewood for the applewood smoke.
And they can make applesauce to serve on the side as a bonus.
I think that's a good one. I think Brian's onto something. You have to go to an apple orchard, Joe. Or is it James? James called in this week.
James is asking, yes.
Yeah.
Tell Joe that you got a special treat worked up for him. You guys are heading to an apple orchard, and he asks if you're picking apples, say kinda, and then hand him a shovel.
Yeah.
He'll say, "What's the shovel for?" And you're like, "Oh, burying the evidence." And he says, "What evidence?" And that's when you hand him the wire cutters, because again, you're gonna have to cut the fence to get in, and the ski mask, so they don't know what you're doing.
It's also fall, so there's a chill in the air. You don't want to get
chill in the air. You want a warm face.
Yeah. Very important.
Mm-hmm. And then steal an apple tree, plant it, get that apple wood on lock.
Yep, that's what you need right there.
All right, so
I think that wraps it up, Eric.
There's no more questions that were asked.
No, we just have to thank our sponsors.
That's true. So naturally, I would have to thank our good friends over at Peanut M&Ms. Which of course we previously said that we weren't sponsored by, but this just in, they sponsored us. And Peanut M&Ms, they're all good. All colors of the rainbow are tasty, but the green one's especially sexy. So buy that one.
I got another candy sponsorship, Eric. This week we've partnered with Werther's Originals. They're dropping their new green rhubarb Catwoman flavor. guaranteed to get all the cats in your neighborhood on their best behavior. Green Rhubarb Werther's Originals. 15% of all proceeds benefit Link's rehabilitation.
That's great. We also have a sponsor coming from the History Channel promoting their new 8-month-long special about the history of hamster independence and their fight against those tricky Iberian lynxes. So tune in from starting next week to the History Channel, local listings as applied, to their new part, Hamster Heaven. Myth or fact? Were there ancient aliens there?
Probably not. They're hamsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't even drive, dude. We actually got a local sponsor. So if you're in the Madison area, you'll be hearing this sponsorship, which is that we got first snowfall. That's right. At least around here, people know what to do, but it is a little chilly, so bundle up. Unlike down south where it'd be pandemonium, baby. First snowfall coming in hot and fresh. Eric, you want to thank our longtime sponsors? Keep this news network going.
Because I have to thank none other than Big Rose, which has just dropped their most controversial flavor yet, the candy corn tincture. So this one, it's a blend of candy corn and their finest rosé, all muddled into one thing. Perfect for surprising the trick-or-treaters. They're sick of the raisins, and hey, let's elevate raisins one more by making it rosé and adding some candy corn.
This podcast is brought to you, as always, by Homegrown Hops, longtime sponsor, now proudly bittering up your news. Homegrown Hops. Brian, do you have any sponsors that helped you get on this news network syndication this week?
I don't have any sponsors. No sponsors, but I just want to give a big shout out to my boys back on the East Coast and say that I miss them, and I hope I'll see you all soon. And when I get out there, we're gonna be shredding the East Coast snow on the mountains. So let's get after it.
Right on.
Myself.
This is Just Do It News Network, Season 7, a Just Do It podcast production, Season 7, Episode 2. I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
And I'm guest Brian.
And for the love of God, man,
just send it.
All right, we're out. I can now tell you that I made up that bit about the candy corns for controversy. They're actually top tier, dude. They're so good.
Dude, I love candy corn.
Yeah,
they're so good.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be devastating for my public image if this part got out, though.
It's candy corn, Alex.
Yeah, we stopped recording, right?
No, not yet.